Probably everyone even remotely interested in being healthy has bought the low sodium version of the chips or whatever it might have been in an effort to be just a little bit healthier. I know I sure have. Could it be that what we've been told has been wrong all this time and that what's actually missing from our diet is sodium? Hi guys, Rio here, back with another fitness related video. In this video, I'll be talking about what the research shows about high versus low sodium diets and the effect that supplementing with salt can have on your workouts. So first of all, salt is made from sodium and chloride, and 1 teaspoon of salt is about 6 grams, and in those 6 grams is about 2.3 grams of sodium. So back in 1977, they did some research and came up with the advice for our dietary goals that we have today. The dietary advice told Americans to consume a low sodium diet based solely on a few scientific opinions, not facts. Now the research was done mainly by 2 guys, and one thing the research showed was increased blood pressure from a higher sodium diet. But even in these studies, to have a significant rise in blood pressure from a higher sodium diet, you had to be 1, genetically susceptible, and 2, you had to eat a low potassium diet. Otherwise, there was not a significant rise in blood pressure. But unfortunately, those things weren't talked about, apparently because that complicates the message, so they just chose to recommend a low sodium diet. So what happens to a normal person who cuts their sodium intake is they get about a 1% reduction in blood pressure, but they also get like a 5 to 10% increase in heart rate. Now, the studies tend to focus only on blood pressure and not on heart rate. But both of these things are very important for us to maintain our health. And when these 2 things are looked at together, almost everyone had more heart rate lowering effects when increasing sodium than they did a decrease in blood pressure when decreasing sodium. So about any heart disease concerns, you're actually probably putting yourself at greater risk by consuming a low sodium diet. So great, but what does that have to do with exercise? Well, glad you asked. Optimal sodium intake increases blood volume, which helps deliver more oxygen and nutrients to the cells, which helps repair your body, remove waste, and reduce muscle cramping. Sodium helps increase stamina and endurance, and helps hold more water in the muscle cells. And that increases strength and explosiveness, as well as increasing the health of the joints. Another thing with this is, the extra circulation actually cools your body temperature off, and according to studies, your core temperature goes down by about 1 degree when you preload with salt. In exercise, the amount of salt that we lose varies a lot depending on numerous factors, including your body size, the exercise intensity, and the temperature that you work out in. But studies show that we normally lose between 1/2 and 1 teaspoon of salt per hour of exercise. Now, the daily recommended dose is less than 1 teaspoon of salt per day. Can you see yet how that may cause some problems? So the clinical studies show that when you preload your workout with 1 teaspoon of salt and exercising in a temperature of between 80 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, you actually can exercise for 21 minutes longer before becoming fatigued. Now, I personally wouldn't recommend just starting to load tons of regular table salt, but what I would recommend is some kind of sea salt or mineral salt, especially anything with iodine in it, as that's another thing that our body tends to be deficient in. For myself, I started supplementing with salt before my workouts about 1.5 years ago, and I noticed immediate results in my energy and strength. Especially the longer my workouts went, the more I would notice it. I personally take between 1/2 and 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt about 45 minutes before my workout, and then I also take about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of salt to the gym, and then when I have a really intense workout or anything longer than about an hour, I will dose another 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of salt right during my workout, and immediately I have more energy to finish my workout strong. Living here in Thailand and working out in a gym that actually doesn't have air conditioning, I feel like I'm in a constant need for more sodium. Sodium is definitely the one thing that's made the biggest difference in the gym as far as supplements go. There's also a couple other things that salt has been kind of demonized for, such as making osteoporosis and kidney stones worse, which may actually be a myth as well. But that's beyond the scope of this video. I'll put links below of some of the studies that I referred to in this video, as well as doctors that know a heck of a lot more on this topic than I do if you're interested. Okay, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts on this topic, I'd love to hear it in the comments. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.